Hi, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Chloe. I sell things online as like a full-time job. That's how I pay my bills, keep a roof over my head. And today's video is going to be a what sold video. I asked in the last one like how often you guys would want to see these kind of videos, either like weekly, monthly, whatever. We came up with like bi-weekly because weekly for me is just a little bit too much. I don't think I'll be able to keep on top of that realistically. And monthly, I guess you guys wanted it a little bit more. So we are here trying to stick to some sort of schedule. However, I'm not promising anything because I'm not very good at sticking to schedules, as you probably are fully aware if you've been subscribed to my channel for any length of time. If you've not watched one of these videos before, I'll quickly talk you through the format. I am going to disappear at the down to the bottom of the screen, which is probably for the best because I'm sure we've all noticed the elephant in the room. I have got a massive fat sty and I can't wear any makeup. It's really irritating me. Obviously, it arrived on a Wednesday, which is my filming day. I've also got a horrific cold, so I sound like a man. But we're going to ignore that and we're just going to plod through this video. Do you like my nails though? How cute are they? Did on myself, thank you very much. Anyway, I'm going to disappear down there. And then I'm going to put on the screen, I will put the item that I'm talking about, will like take up the screen, like the sale. And then I will include like some figures. I've got down here, I've got in my little book, cost of goods, what it sold for, the fees that I paid on that item, like the eBay fees, the overall profit that I made after all those fees have gone, and then whether it was a promoted listing or not. The included in the fees are going to be postage, I believe. I can't remember exactly how I worked it out, but I know that postage is accounted for. I think I charged £3.70 an item for 48-hour Royal Mail tracked, and I think eBay charges £3.45 for me to post it. So there's only a small variance to cover like postage, materials and things like that. So that's the breakdown I'm going to give. I've got 20 items here. We'll try and get through it as quickly as possible because I've already waffled for way too long, and I will disappear down there so we can get onto the first item. I am going to be looking in my little notebook, so please forgive me if I keep looking down into my lap. But the first item is this Sweaty Betty jumper. This item I purchased from Vinted. I've been doing quite a lot of sourcing on Vinted at the minute just because I just haven't had as much time to get out and about and source properly. I do try and go into my local town a few times a week, but just to top up, I've been shopping on Vinted. This item must have been somebody's first listing because I didn't pay any postage. Like sometimes you don't have to pay postage on Vinted if they haven't like sold anything before, if this is their first sale. This was one of those items, and the cost of goods, including all the postage and fees and whatever, was only £5.35, which was actually so good. So good. I was really pleased with that. And it sold for £31.49. It may have either been that I've sent out an offer or they've used a 10% off coupon. The fees on this item, so all the eBay fees, were £5.55. It was not promoted, not a promoted sale. We love that. We love an organic sale. And the profit was £20.86. So my profit was really good on that one. I like to stick to at least £10 profit an item. There's quite a lot of, like, you know, spoiler, there's quite a lot that are not reached that in this video, but I'm just trying to keep it real. I'm trying to be completely honest about what's selling. Not everything is going to be a banger, but I'm happy with over £20 in profit. I like to be sitting around there. That's good for me. This was also a Vinted purchase. This is a Larissa sea salt shirt. These sea salt shirts are pretty good. Like, I don't buy them in smaller sizes, and obviously you want a nice print. This was fish, just loads of fish. It was alright. Wasn't to my taste, but it was to somebody's taste. I paid £5.33. It sold for £22.49, which I had it up for £24.99 on eBay, and I had like a 10% off coupon, I believe. The fees for this, because it was promoted, were £6.48, so a bit higher on the fees there, leaving me with a profit of £10.93. So I'm reaching that £10, and considering this took a few days to sell, maybe. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. I didn't even have to leave my house. I mean, my husband had to leave my house to go and pick it up from the impost locker, but I didn't have to leave my house, and it was very quick and easy to list. This was a relatively quick flip. I did think this was going to go on Vinted, to be honest, but it went on eBay. I probably would have preferred it to go on Vinted because I would have got a bit more profit, but that's okay. Maybe next time I won't list it on eBay. But it's an And Other Stories blouse. It cost me £3. It was a really nice print, actually. I quite liked it. It cost me £3 and it sold for 14. Now, it was promoted, so the fees were £4.49. So I paid more on fees than I did actually on the cost of good. But the overall profit on that was only £6.76, which is fine. I don't mind having smaller profit items dotted in there, especially when I only pay £3 for it, because it's doubling my money at the end of the day. But yeah, I need to maybe sit down and have a little think about that, and think about whether that's worth listing on eBay or just Vinted. All of these are going to be eBay sales, by the way. I didn't include any Vinted ones in this. This dress was absolutely beautiful. If it was my size, I would have kept it. It's a Hush dress, which Hush doesn't sell amazingly anymore, but I think this dress just sold on style alone because it was absolutely gorgeous. It cost me £4.74 from a Vinted bundle. I bought about 10 items off one woman, and yeah, it was in really nice condition. It took a few weeks to sell actually, but then it could have been stuck around. Clothing could have been stuck around for a lot longer than a few weeks. So that's nothing really. It sold for £23. We had a little bit of back and forth on offers. And the fees were £4.28 on that one. So less than that blouse that I just sold, because this wasn't promoted, leaving me with a profit of £14.23, which I'm definitely more happy there with the £14 profit. If you are not listing your knitwear, you probably still should be, because actually today it's freezing. It's really cold today. There is heating in here, but it comes on, I don't have any control over when it comes on, and I wish the heating was on today. It's absolutely freezing. Yeah, this was a Masai cardigan. Anyway, I got sidetracked there, sorry about that. This was a Masai cardigan that cost me £4.50 from the charity shop, and it sold really quickly. I do have a box of winter stuff that I've just put aside for I prioritise them basically. I will list them if I'm running out of stock. I will just list them. I'm not that bothered. But I've just put them in a box to one side for now. Then if I've got more summery items that I can list before that, then I'll prioritise them. But yeah, I've got loads of winter stuff waiting. But this was gorgeous, plain. I think as well because it was more of a crochet cardigan. It was a little bit open knit. It's probably the right sort of time for it. But it's in lovely condition. Sold for £21.99. The fees, because it was promoted, this one, the fees were £6.36, leaving me with £11.38 profit, so hitting that £10 mark again. This was a really, really, really quick flip. This sold the day after I had it delivered to my door. I bought it on Vinted, this Joni cardigan. I love Joni. I love it for me, I like wearing it, but it also sells really, really well. This cardigan cost me £9.07 all in. Then it sold for £24, and like I said, it was very, very quick. The fees, because it wasn't promoted, was £4.44, leaving me with £10.74 profit. So I'm hitting that £10 mark again. And like I said, it sold so quickly, so quickly. Yet another Vinted purchase. This is a Cashmere Company jumper, but it's a short sleeve one. I thought it was perfect for this time of year. It's a gorgeous pastel blue colour, absolutely beautiful. Cost me £7.17 on Vinted. Sold for £20.70. I do believe that was either a coupon or I sent out an offer. I can't quite remember. When I send out offers, I just send them all out in bulk with a percentage off. The fees on this one, it was indeed promoted, and the fees were £5.35, leaving me with £8.43 profit. Not amazing, but it's close to that £10. I would prefer more, but it sold relatively quick, so that kind of makes up for it. Marla Wynn. If you are not selling Marla Wynn, you should be. It's a great brand. It's a QVC brand, and I find it just sells really, really well. I love their pieces. Their pieces are so it's minimal, and they're always oversized. It kind of falls into the Largan look category almost. This item, not quite as much because it's more of a loungewear piece. But I really like them myself, actually. I would wear a lot of Marla Wynn. It's more for like the middle-aged lady, I think. That's who it's aimed at, because obviously they're the people that tend to shop on QVC. No hate to anyone shopping on QVC. You shop wherever you want, babes. You know what I mean? But anyway, I'm waffling again. And this is what it's like when you work on your own. Like when I get the camera out, I'm just blah, blah, blah. Anyway, paid £5.08. Let's get back to it. I paid £5.08. It sold again for £20.70, so I think I must have sent out offers. Exactly the same fees on this one because it was promoted, so £5.35, leaving me with a profit of £10.52. So we reached that £10 for just a black top. It's just a black top. It's Marla Wynn Lounge, I think this was called, Marla Lounge or something. Just a black oversized t-shirt. It's wardrobe staple though, and it's good quality. I like Marla Wynn. This is Scamp and Dude. Scamp and Dude. I had a Scamp and Dude jumper that just wouldn't sell last year. I don't know why. It was gorgeous and it was proper classic, like leopard print Scamp and Dude. Would not sell for love nor money. So I haven't been picking them up, but I thought I'd try it again. I bought a bundle of 2 that were like £5 each on Vinted, including all the fees and whatnot. There was £6.74. That's my cost of goods on this, £6.74. And they've both sold really quickly. This one sold for £20. It was promoted, so my fees were £5.21, leaving me with a profit of £8.30. So again, not reaching that £10 like where I want to be, but again, sold super quick. So did I undersell it? Possibly. Is there a lesson to be learnt there? Yeah, there is. Don't accept such low offers. Am I going to learn from that lesson? Probably not. I got more money back than what I paid for it, so I'm happy enough. Lo and behold, another Vinted purchase. This is a Jules skirt. I bought 2 of them. I bought a white one and then this one. The white one's already gone, already sold. They sold real quick. I don't pick up a lot of Jules, but they were new with tags. The cost of goods on this was £5.74. It sold for £18. I could probably have got a little bit more for it, but at the end of the day, it's still decent enough profit. The fees, it was promoted, the fees were £4.80, left me with £7.71, but because I'd already sold, probably not the best way to think about it, but this is how my little brain works. Because I'd already sold the other one and already into profit for the whole purchase by selling the other one, I wasn't really bothered about what I got for this one. I have had this dress for the longest time. Somebody tell me why, because she's gorgeous. Well, I'll tell you why actually, because I didn't have it listed for a long time. I just didn't get around to listing it. I had it hung up at home before I moved to this office, probably for about 12 months, I'm not even gonna lie. It's shocking, it's shameful. I just couldn't take nice pictures when I was at home of like longer items because I didn't have the room and they never looked very good. So I always put it off, and then I don't know, I must have just bit the bullet and gone for it. But anyway, it cost me £15. I was happy to spend that on this because she's gorgeous. The colour is beautiful. Cost me 15 quid. It sold for £35 with the fees. It wasn't promoted. The fees were £6.06, leaving me with £14.19 profit. So I paid more for that item than the profit that I got back from it, but still, £14 is over my £10 threshold. I loved this skirt. I just loved it. It's Joe Brown's. I pick up Joe Brown's usually in bigger sizes. I think this was a size 12. Usually I'll go for like 16 and above. But this was so cute. A little daisy print skirt. I paid only £3 for it. Probably another reason why I picked it up. It sold for £15.30. So it must have been either a coupon or offers sent out yet again. The fees on this one, it was promoted. So the fees were £4.80. And the profit was £7.75. But I was happy to get rid of that because I think it's been listed since like this time last year. I've had it a little while. This mint velvet blouse was another Vinted buy. This colour is like all in at the minute. It is called a butter yellow. So if you've got anything this like pastel yellow colour, include the keywords butter yellow because it's just a really trending colour at the minute. It was absolutely gorgeous. I loved the cut of it. The sleeves were beautiful. I paid £5.53 on that one. It went for £22.50 very quickly again in a matter of like a week or so. The fees, it was a promoted item, so the fees were £6.48, leaving me with a profit of £10.74. Next up, we've got some shoes. Now, these shoes were an absolute bargain, I ain't even gonna lie. I bought 4 pairs of shoes. It wasn't even in a bundle discount. They were just selling them as one listing. 4 pairs of shoes. I paid £2.37 for each pair. I got 2 pairs of Hotters. I got these ones, and I got, what are these? These are the purple ones. I got a blue pair as well, which have already gone. They went ages ago. I got a pair of Cotton Traders sandals, which I wouldn't usually pick up, but I listed them straight back on Vinted, and I think they sold within the same day, and I listed them for just under what I bought this bundle for, so I almost got all my money back in that listing. And then I got a pair of Skechers as well, so it was an absolute bargain, and all the shoes are in beautiful condition. So £2.37 was cost price. They went for £16.99. The fees on this, it was promoted listing, were £5.18, and my profit was £9.69, so very close to being my £10, but not quite there. I will always pick up Robals, always. These are the Robal Bellas. I pick up the Robal Bellas, the Robal Maries, and what's the other one? Robal Rose. Sometimes the Maries, not always. Robal Rose, Robal Bellas, and sometimes the Marie. These were bright green. Picked them up from Vinted, yet again. I picked up 2 pairs, and I think one other item in this bundle. Cost me £4.25 each item, by the way, and they sold for £22.87. So that was definitely, like, I've sent out like a 15% off offer or something like that. The fees on this, it was promoted, the fees were £6.55, leaving me with a profit of £12.32. And I just love selling them. They just sell so quickly. This Gudrun, right, I'm going to try not to butcher this name. I think it's Gudrun Sojan. If I'm saying that wrong, please let me know in the comments. But that's just how I'm saying it at the minute. It cost me £9.89, brand new with tags. I bought again off Vinted, a couple of them. It sold for £34.99 very quickly. It was brand new with tags, which seems really quite low to sell for brand new with tags, Gudrun. But it was just plain. There wasn't anything special about it. It was just literally a jersey dress. So I put it up for £34.99. It sold real quick, actually, so I probably could have got more. It was not promoted, so the fees were £6.05, leaving me with a profit of £19.30. This was probably one of the longest standing items in my eBay store. I did not want to get rid of it. I was being stubborn. I was like, this is going to sell. This is Celtic & Co. Celtic & Co is such a good brand to buy and like resell, but for some reason, this jumper, which I thought she was cute, to be honest, she just wouldn't sell. Just wouldn't sell. I'd had it really high. I'd had it really low. I'd had it on auction. It wasn't selling, but I wasn't giving up. I was being really stubborn. And it's eventually gone for £34.50. It cost me £4.50. You watch it get returned now, because I'm really happy that it sold. You watch. But it cost me £4.50. The fees, it was a non-promoted sale, so organic sale. Fees were £5.98. And that left me with a profit of £24.27, which is a nice profit, don't get me wrong. Is it a profit worth waiting like 2 years for? Because every time that item has been relisted, it's cost me either, I don't know, what is it, like 12 pence, or it's cost me a listing. Is that worth it? I don't know. I'm not getting into that right now. This is the other Scamp and Dude jumper from that bundle I spoke about earlier. So £6.74 on this one. This one sold for £25.99 though. It was not promoted, so the fees were £4.72, leaving me with a bit better profit on this one at £14.78. It's over that £10, so happy days. Another brand that I won't always pick up, but if it's in a larger size, and especially if it's new with tags, I'm picking it up. This is Kim & Co. Again, it's like QVC kind of thing. People love it because the material that it is, unless you are going to like screw it up into a ball and put it in the bottom of your bag, it's not going to get creased. It's so easy to wear. So like, it's perfect for going on holiday, like, and bunging them in your suitcase, nice and folded, obviously. A lot of it is just going to be ready to wear straight out of a suitcase, and I think that's why it's so popular. I don't even know whether I said that it was Kim & Co, but it's Kim & Co. If you watch my channel, you've obviously heard me talk about Kim & Co before, because your girl loves selling a bit of Kim & Co. It was a gorgeous animal print dress. It cost me £3.68 from Vinted. Big fat bundle of it. It sold for £21.99, pretty quick, few weeks I reckon the turnover was. The fees were £6.36 because it was promoted, leaving me with £12.20 back on that one. And then finally was actually, I bought them for myself, but I got big feet. I mean, I haven't, my feet are a size 4, but I've got wide feet, so they just weren't fitting. They were squeezing my toes, and I couldn't deal with it. So I sold them. These are checkerboard Vans, just slip on, pink ones. I paid £8.44 off Vinted, but like I said, they were for me. I bought them for myself. Didn't get on with them. So they sold for £17.59 on eBay. That would have been with either a coupon or sent out an offer because it's a random number. The fees on this, it wasn't promoted, thank the Lord, because I would have got nothing back on this. The fees were £3.48 and I got £5.92. But they were for me, so would I spend £8.44 on a pair of Vans now to resell? Not in that size, and not unless they're like a special collaboration. I do pick up Vans sometimes, but maybe I shouldn't be spending £8.44 a pair. So yeah, that is all of them. That is all 20 items. Let me know if that was okay for you. A little bit of feedback in the comments. Is bi-weekly okay? Is that good? Is that cool? Would you rather me do it monthly and then just pick out like bigger, better sales? Because obviously doing it every 2 weeks, there's not necessarily going to be a huge amount of like amazing sales. There was a lot of sales in there that were under £10 profit. So just let me know whether that's okay. Do you still want to see that? This is just, I guess this is a bit more realistic, but yeah. With that, I am going to love you and leave you, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye, everybody.